All right, what's up, y'all? It's Life Partner Gang here. I'm James.
I'm Tina.
And we are back with another episode of the Life Partner Gang.
Gang.
It's been a minute. We feel like we haven't recorded in a while.
No, we haven't recorded since before we went to Disney.
Yeah, we've been super busy. Life, family, all of that good stuff. Influence of life. Everything is in the way right now.
Lost camera life.
Lost camera life. But we back. We had a couple of good episodes in a row. I heard a couple of y'all dudes' feelings out there with the 50-50 conversation. I don't care though. Like, y'all gonna be mad, but you thought about what I said. So point proven. But we back here today. We got a new topic, which is, for people in relationships, marriages, situationships, whatever you might be in. If you have a partner and you guys have children, this is probably a conversation that you've had at some point. It's a conversation that we have often. And
we do?
And we don't see eye to eye on the conversation. So
okay.
we're going to get into it, and, we'll see what you guys think, too. So, but first, what they need to do, babe?
Make sure that you are subscribed. Whether you're listening on your podcast channel of choice or you're watching us on YouTube, hit that button so that you're notified whenever we drop a new episode.
Definitely.
Thank you for your support.
Appreciate the support. Get in those comments. Let us know what y'all think. We definitely want to talk back to you. But for this week's conversation, we are talking about children. And what are you supposed to do when you're family planning with your partner and you guys don't see eye to eye on how many kids you should actually have? And it's funny because I think in our generation, a lot of times, like, not all of us, but most of us, when we have our first kid, we ain't talking about how many total we want to have or any of that. And you and I never talked about that either, because we didn't expect to have our first kid when we had the first one.
So yeah,
playing the second one, playing the third one.
We did?
No.
No lie.
We didn't plan it. I forgot. We didn't plan the third one. You tricked me. Anyways, that's another topic for another day. But
oh, he be lying. Go ahead.
For me, you know how I feel about it. We have 3 kids for those of y'all who don't know. 3 children, 11, 5, and 2. And she wants to be done. She thinks we have...
I was done after 2.
2, because we had one of each. We had a boy and a girl at 2.
But I tricked him.
But she tricked me into number 3, like she tricked me into number 1. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. But what are you supposed to do when your person doesn't agree with the number of kids you want to have? So just so y'all know,
No. Pause. I just want y'all to hear this. Hear how he be lying and flexing. I tricked him into more kids, but he the only one that wants more kids. Make it make sense.
Yeah, I just want them on my time, not yours.
Make it make sense, please.
I want them on my time. Nah, so like that's the topic there. So so we don't see eye to eye when it comes to kids. You wanted only 2. We ended up with 3. I'm thinking my number is 5. I'm not sure yet. It could go beyond that. So I think I want 5 kids. 5 is my favorite number.
I don't even know how I'm going to be able to keep a straight face throughout this episode, because all I want to do right now is let you know where you got me fucked up.
So what are you supposed to do when your person doesn't agree with the number of children that you want to have?
Because it's so much more to it than just like pick a number and have the kid. It's so much more to it than that. If it's not like we're going to pick up some groceries. It's, oh my gosh, it's just so much. It's too much. I can't do it 2 more. I definitely can't do it 2 more times. I cannot.
Why not though? Like from a male's perspective, let me tell you how a man can see it. It's like, all right, look, I get it. We don't carry the children. That's you. We don't have to share our body, give up our body, do any of those things. That's you. But we do, especially once, we have to help you through the pregnancy. We got to be there for you emotionally. We got to support you, all of those things. And when the kid is here, it's not like the kid is all on you.
No.
In this household.
No. You're a very hands-on dad, and I give you that. But there should be no but after we do not have to carry the children. We do not have to share our bodies. That is so physically, mentally, and emotionally taxing that me saying that the buck should stop there. The idea of being pregnant right now wears me thin. Literally. So I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
So a man shouldn't even broach the topic with his lady because it's the lady's body? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, it's not because it's my body. It's because you cannot carry that load. And no matter how much you think you can help, you are very helpful. And I'll never say that you haven't been there, because you're always there through every single pregnancy, even the first one. It's just so much to, I don't even know if I can articulate it properly. Just the weight of it all. It's a lot. Oh my God, it's a lot. It's a lot. I could probably consider one more. And that is like the strongest of mites, but I'm absolutely not doing that shit twice. Like, no.
But what is it? Is it a body thing? Is it an age thing? Is it
it's all
because
of
you're not
them.
old?
I'm not old. I'll be 34 in 34 days. Don't ask me why I know
Why
that,
do you
because
know
I
that?
will. But it's not an age thing, and it's not even just a body thing. It's just it's a culmination of things. My just my body, and that I didn't snap back after the second and the third as quickly as I got back after the first. And it's harder to not, death to snapback culture, but I do want to be able to be physically able to keep up with my kids and just with myself, hell, and you. So it's like it gets harder with age and after carrying children. The I guess the emotional and the mental weight of it was a lot, because postpartum anxiety was a thing for me this time. Or after Luke. So just the whole idea of having to work through that again, even though, I know ways to cope, is still a lot. And the whole sharing my body, like Luke still ain't even stopped being a koala. He's still a koala, even though he's not nursing anymore. The boy like sleeps
All day long.
he sleeps and sits, and Luke is attached to me. Like, I don't even have to wear him in a baby carrier anymore, and I'm still wearing him. So, like, do that again? What? And Zoe ain't even really let go for real. Like,
You created the monster that is Zoe, though.
And Luke, apparently. So you want me to have another one?
You didn't do anything for Luke to be like that. He just came out like that. But Zoe, that was 100% your doing with the way you rapped and had to coddle her and all of that.
I had to
every
coddle
night.
her, or it was coddle her or listen to her scream.
Right. And maybe all of that is just payback for whatever type of kid you was as a baby growing up.
Whatever.
I have to talk to your family about that.
Because they don't take nothing from you. They only get their good traits from you, James.
Absolutely. That's how it works. My DNA is a
Some
good
big
one.
ass heads from you too.
Yes.
Another reason why I don't want to do it again.
Luke's head wasn't a problem
Luke's
for you
head
coming out.
No, it wasn't. He was fine.
Zoe was another thing.
Zoe almost killed me. It's just no, it's not a vanity thing at all. I mean, you gain weight, you lose weight. I've been almost 200 pounds. I've been 120 pounds. So, it's not a weight thing for me. It's the life after the baby. Because aside from morning sickness and being tired, the pregnancy part is fun. You cute. Everybody's nice to you. And strangers trying to touch you. But, people are nice to you. People want to feed you. They want to, cater to you and whatever you need, and tiptoe around your feelings, because nobody wants to hurt the pregnant woman's feelings. So, the pregnancy part of it, that's fun. It's the life after the baby. The nursing, the sleepless nights, I'm not interested.
So one, I don't know if it's like if it's a generational thing or what's happening now, but it seems like our generation and the generations coming after us don't want to have big families anymore.
It's 5 of us and a dog. I think we're pretty good size, my guy.
I think we're medium sized.
That's because you have one sibling. He has one sibling.
Right.
And I have 7.
Yes. But all y'all didn't grow up in the same household either.
Okay,
though.
so I grew up in the same house with 3. So it was 4 of us total.
Yeah.
We have one less than that.
I think 4 to 5, you start to get into big family range, which
we can be a middle class sized family.
And
a medium.
And they're spread out in age too. So it's not like we've never had 2 babies in diapers at the same time.
And that's another thing, because by time they're out of diapers, and moms can probably relate to this, by time they're out of diapers, the pacifiers are away. They are full swing and heading into their big kid, their independence. And you want me to start over?
Are they not the cutest when they're babies?
They ain't that cute.
Yes,
They're not that cute.
Yes, they are.
It's not cute enough for me to want to do it again. I just we just had 2 birthdays back to back, and I just sobbed and drooled all over them baby pictures. I was just ovulating. If I wanted to do something done, I would have did it. I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
Back to my point, generationally though, I think whatever's in the water with child nowadays, y'all don't want to have as many kids anymore.
Well, back in the day, no shade, no tea, because that's what grandmas did. It was, to be home and to bear the children and to do all of the things and not have to worry about life outside of taking care of the home.
I'll say generationally, and I will also say there's a difference in terms of how these things are viewed across races. Because I don't see white women out here saying they won't have a bunch of kids nowadays. I actually see a ton of white women.
How many white women do you talk to?
You just go on Instagram and look at all the white women that got gang of kids running around here, 4, 5, 6, 7,
That's
8, 9, 10.
That's because new babies are blogger clickbait. Those
too.
Babies are blogger clickbait. So you can't just be talking about like the popular mom bloggers. You got to just talk about the everyday white woman. How many everyday white women do you talk to? That's not fair.
At work? Yes, I talk to plenty of white women.
Oh, do they got 8+ kids?
8? No.
Ain't nobody out here trying to be John and Kate plus 8.
3, 4, 5? Yes.
We got 3.
All right, 4 or 5.
No.
4 or 5. And then so in this situation, though, what do two people supposed to do? So you don't see eye to eye on the topic, because there are certain situations like if you take it to back in the day, what was the song? Papa was a Rolling Stone and shit like that. Where the dude will go out and just go have as many kids as he wanted to. He
was a Rolling Stone because he was a hoe, not because he wanted a gang of kids.
He'll just go spread his seeds across the earth and just, be plentiful with whomever. So of course nobody wants that to be the situation.
Right,
so
and it's not.
What are two people supposed to do? Because there have been situations, and I know people, and I'm sure you know people too, where women have gone and gotten their tubes tied without telling their partner they were doing that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You think that's foul? Would you do that?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. That my body is my body, your body is your body. But in this together, that's a conversation that we're supposed to have. Mm-hmm. Even in the off chance that you were 100% against it, and I still wanted to do it, I'm not gonna do it and not tell you.
Okay,
I wouldn't do that.
So on the flip side too, I'm assuming you think that if men are gonna go and get themselves snipped, they should have that conversation too.
Tell me.
Yeah. Even though I'm not.
Don't let it be surprised. Don't let me, find out in a surprising way. No, I wouldn't do that without telling you.
Yeah. So then, it's tough because it's way more expensive to live nowadays, and kids are pricey too, just depending on the type of lifestyle you want to live. So I get that aspect of it. And I'm not saying like people who, if you're struggling, you definitely shouldn't have no bunch of kids. Like you should make sure your situation is straight, your family's straight before you go having 5, 6, 7 children. But I don't think that there's anything wrong, especially if you can afford it, with having a bunch of kids.
No, I don't think anything is wrong with it. Like if you have the means financially and mentally, if you have the capacity to care for them children, then by all means, go for it. But right now, I just don't see it. Like I cannot, I just think about our days right now and the idea of having a baby in this mix. I would sit all y'all outside.
I mean, you need to be outside with them.
I would rather go. I would go outside by myself gladly. Gladly.
I don't be mad at nobody because your kid's bad as hell.
They got them genes. They got them bad genes from you. They just they daddy kids.
Don't be mad because your kid's bad as hell.
They are they daddy kids.
So then in this situation though, right? So if two people don't see eye to eye, you can't come together on it, and like this becomes for us, it would never be like a point of contention.
It's not going to be a deal breaker. Now, I could see if we did not have any, and I didn't want to give you a child. But I done gave you 3, babe. 3.
I think it could be a deal breaker, though, if we had 1 and you was like, I don't want to have any more.
Well, that too.
Unless we went into it and we
had
agreed
talked about this
that it was just we're only going to have 1 kid. But if we always had said, we're going to have more children, and then all of a sudden you hit like nah, I ain't trying to mess my body up no more. Like, I'm good.
Well, see,
Because there's some people that do that too.
Yes.
Like,
So let me ask you a question. Like, I know it's typically like women that are always just like, I want to have a family. I want to have 8 kids or 6 kids or whatever your number. Like, did you have like somewhere in the back of your head that you always wanted to have like a large family?
no, I only wanted 2 kids growing up. I didn't even want a girl.
Well, what's wrong with you? Because
I evolved as a human.
somebody fix it.
So when I was growing up, I only wanted 2 kids, and I wanted 2 boys. I didn't even want a girl. I just wanted 2 boys. That's how I grew up. It was just me, and I had my one sibling was a brother. It was just us.
So it was familiar.
It was familiar.
So yeah, like, and me, I actually did not want kids. I wanted to be the cool traveling hippie auntie that came home and was like, "Hey, I'm home."
Weed, so you can't be a hippie. Continue.
Oh, well, I wanted to be the cool auntie that traveled the world and just like pop back in for like family occasions. I did not want kids myself. So, and then even when we got pregnant with little James, of course I was keen to the idea of having a girl because that was what was familiar to me. But like, I'm dead serious when I say I didn't want kids. I didn't want kids. I love them dearly, but like that is not what I envisioned for my life. Not saying that that's why I don't want to have more. It's like far bigger than that, but it's crazy how those things can change, once you start having kids.
Yeah, I don't think the number for me changed until we actually started having kids. And I don't think the number changed even when we had Pooh. Like, when we had Pooh, that wasn't expected. So I was still like, I'm trying to figure out how to be a dad and what to do and like how to make sure that like we don't kill this kid. And then once we figured it out, I got to a place where it's like, oh man, like kids are really fun. I always liked kids. Like, I was always, the dude who, could be an uncle to kids and like have fun with them, play with them. And, if it was like a little girl trying to learn how to do their hair and do ponytails and stuff like that. So, then when we had Zoe and you have a girl, like having a girl softens you, babe. You know what I mean? It made me a little softer now. So then it was like, oh man, like I really want another girl. We didn't know what Luke was going to be. We didn't plan Luke. We didn't even, like, we waited until we actually had him.
We let his gender be a surprise, which was a beautiful experience.
Yeah, the gender was a surprise. He kicked into the world, literally.
He delivered himself.
Jumped out of your vagina and decided he was coming out. And then it was a boy. And while I love having my two baby boys, I love having my baby girl, and I do want another girl.
So here's the thing. We don't get to, it's not like we get to hit a little selector box and choose their gender. If I somehow find it in me to give you a 4th and it is another boy, are you going to be down my back about another girl?
I mean, I've already said I wanted 5, so independent of even if the next one was a girl, I said I wanted 5 like, though.
If we were to compromise for this,
if it's a girl, I got to be done.
If 4, we got to be done. Like me, if I'm able to agree to 4 is me meeting you in the middle. Because when I say I'm done, like I'm done.
But see, I'm here to protect you from yourself.
I would have got my tubes tied after Luke if it wasn't for you.
But
we was arguing about that in the labor, like literally Luke fresh out. The doctor like, you want your tubes tied? Me, yeah, him, no.
Nah, like why would
like not arguing, but
why would I agree to that? I'm here to help you save yourself from yourself.
They won't do it if he don't be like, yeah, go ahead and do it.
They shouldn't.
Like, this ain't your
It
vagina.
is. Don't get it twisted out there, people.
Okay, Donald Trump.
It is.
It's not yours.
I didn't say I was gonna grab you by it, but it is. But I think that's a valid question that they should ask both people. It ain't like we just homies having sex and making babies. I am emotionally
you should not be able to have the final say in that decision, but that's another conversation for another day.
But
but like, how my doctor just gonna beeline to you? Like, first of all, you don't even know her name.
So Doc is her name. God damn it!
Look at like, sis, what you doing?
No, Doc, we don't want to close that JJ up.
But I'm serious because like I was done after Zoe. And, I know some people can look at me like I'm crazy and say, like, what you mean you was done? You not on birth control. You didn't get your tubes tied. I have been done with birth control since 2012.
Birth control is a devil. Y'all need to stop putting that in your body.
I am not for it. Everybody has to do what they feel is best for them. But it's not for me. It
Let's
it
talk about
about
why you're not in birth control.
I'm not on birth control because I had the Mirena. Because, don't have to remember taking pills.
She already trapped me not taking her pill the first time. Go ahead, babe.
The hype of it stopping your menstrual cycle, all of that is great. And, just the idea of being able to, be free for 5 years. It sounds amazing. The hormonal changes caused by that thing almost drove me crazy. Literally.
Me too.
I was premenopausal at 27 years old because of that daggone implant I had. Well, it wasn't even an implant. It was an IUD, and I had to go get it taken out. It was I thought I was a crazy person. He thought I was a crazy person. It was a lot. After that, if I even pretend like I'm about to say birth control to him in a sentence, he's like, no, like it's not even a game. I'm not going to do it because it literally turned me into a different person. Like when you're not balanced hormonally, and that's why I don't understand how people can it's crazy how people can scoff or just turn a blind eye to people when they say that they have mental health issues or, postpartum anxiety or postpartum depression. Because when those things, when your hormones and them chemicals inside you and inside your brain are not right, you can trip out.
Oh, yeah.
I was having anxiety attacks like crazy, anxiety attacks like I've never had in my life. My mood was swinging like crazy. It was a lot.
You was a nightmare to be around. An absolute fucking nightmare. There's not many things that I would put you in the loony bin over, but I would put you in the loony bin.
It was 5 or 6 months. I was not normal at all.
No.
And I'm glad. I mean, and sometimes when people are telling you crazy and you looking at them, you can think that they're just talking, but it was just things that were going on with me that I noticed too. So I had to go get it taken out. It was not worth it.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to when people don't really understand the impact of everything that puts in your body, especially when you put external things in your body and chemicals and such, right? You don't really know the impact of those things. And for women, they give y'all birth control in high school. You know what I mean?
I started when I was 16.
Some girls get on as soon as they have their cycle. Their mom go and had them on birth control, and those what that's doing to your body and the imbalances it's causing. People don't understand that. And I think for us, we wasn't even really thinking about what was wrong then. We was just going through a time. It's we can't get along for nothing. We always arguing, always fighting. She's crazy. She's driving me crazy. And I would say for the first 3, 4, 5 months it was going on, I didn't even think to associate it with the birth control.
In all honesty, that when I had that IUD was actually the year that we broke up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, one of us was gonna die that year if you ain't get on birth control, because that was
actually the year that we broke up and I moved out. It was a lot.
That was literally the worst experience ever in dealing with you and us dealing with each other was when you was on that. So yes, I will 100% adamantly say there is no birth control in this house. Watching what it did to you, and it's Zoe's body or whatever, but I don't want Zoe to ever to do it. She's gonna do what she wants to do, but I'm gonna tell her straight up, she's gonna know what you put in your body, and here's what might happen to you if you chose to do it, because that was crazy.
But yeah, back to originally what I was saying. No, my tubes are not tied. No, he hasn't had a vasectomy. No, I'm not on birth control. However, since 2012, we have been fine. When we got pregnant with Zoe, it was very intentional. We were literally trying. With Luke, we were not trying, but we slipped on ovulation day. So it was what you gonna do?
Yeah.
It was literally ovulation day. Okay, well, you should have checked your calendar, because I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know it was ovulation day.
And I didn't either, because I didn't check until after the fact. And when we did and Plan B didn't work, it was well.
Plan B was nah, bro, Plan A. Plan A is Luke is coming.
Plan A. So I do believe that, fertility tracking, the withdrawal method, all of that stuff, it can prove just as, as preventive. It's a preventive measure as taking birth control pills or putting something into your body. So that's why I don't do any of that. But you already know that after Zoe, I was good. We had a perfect set. We were good. So Luke was like your Hail Mary. Why you need another Hail Mary?
I mean, because look, we didn't expect Luke, and look what Luke has brought to our lives. Even though he is a little stinker, but he's the cutest little stinker ever. You can't deny
He
that.
is. He's so full of love and so full of joy. And, you know, I couldn't imagine our lives without him.
Right.
But I also can't imagine our lives with another one of them.
Before Luke, you couldn't have imagined our lives with another one,
I
and
don't
then
want
Luke
to do it.
came,
You're not going to.
and it was beautiful.
Drag me down into this. You're not going to give me baby fever. You're
So
not.
you already have it. It's whatever. It's only a matter of time.
No.
So, but if in this situation, like again, it wouldn't be contentious with us because we have 3 kids. So I have 3 to stand on. I'm good either way, even though I ain't gonna stop asking.
So you're not good either way.
I mean, I'm good meaning that if I left the earth today, I'm good because
okay.
I got 3
You have 3
kids.
kids.
But you know, when you want something, you want it. You keep going for it. You know, I'm persistent with it too. So we'll see who wins that race. But if you were like 100% like we're not doing it, and I'm like I really really want it, like is it okay for people to break up at that point?
I think that, especially if you don't have any children or you only have, that's a tough call. I mean, you have to look at the entire picture and like just the family and the life and the legacy that you have begun to build together. But if you don't have any children at all and your spouse does not want to give you kids, I couldn't stay.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay.
I mean, that's a tough thing to break up over, but I think kids are that important. Now, again, I do think you should have the conversation before you actually get into a permanent sort of situation like being married. But I guess even if you did have that conversation before being married, like humans evolve and we change, right? And you may have went into it like, you know what, I'm good. I don't ever want kids. And then your heart changes at some point. You're like, I do want kids. And if that person won't give you kids, I would say, well, if they won't give you kids, meaning they don't want to have them, then I would shift the combo too. And we've talked about this, even though you're like more open to it than I am.
Yeah, because I would rather do this than carry another child.
Yeah, you would rather adopt. Whereas I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Why?
I think like one, I feel for all the kids who are out there who don't have a home and a family to go to. Like that to me it touches my heart, and I think it's really sad that it's like that. But then I also, the thing that's scary to me about adoption is you just don't know what you're getting yourself into. And I think I would have to really, really like do a whole bunch of praying and find it in my heart to go into that situation knowing that it might not be rosy at all because you don't know what the kid has been through. And I think whether you're adopting some like an infant or you're adopting a kid that's older, as the thing that I always think about is, well, at some point, this kid is gonna want to know who their real family is, and what am I supposed to do then? Because it doesn't matter what I do for them, they're still always gonna want to know, and I'm not gonna hide it, like make them think I'm their father or whatever it might be. So how do you deal with that when that time comes? And I don't know.
I just feel like, so you're saying that, no matter how much we love them and how beautiful of a life we give them, it's always going to be that void for them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And I say that knowing that I've not necessarily adoption, but knowing people personally who thought somebody was their real parent and then found out that that person wasn't their biological parent, and how that tore them up and drove them towards, no matter what happened with me and you in the last however many years it was, I still need to know about this over here. For adoption, it's just, for me, I'm always going to be worried. It's always going to be in the back of my mind, like, at what point, is my kid going to be wanting to either go out and seek their biological family, parents, or whatever it might be, and then once they find that, what's it going to do to our relationship? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to feel like they're not really a part of our family because we didn't birth them or whatever it might be?
I mean, would you so with the open adoption, they could essentially, if we found someone, if we did decide to go that route, they could know their biological parent from the start.
Yeah, no, you can have that. Um, but then with that, it's like okay,
It's a
there's
can
an
of worms.
there's an emotional thing that's there too. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, you're this family that's coming to take me in, but I just saw my mom over here. I just saw my dad over here. Like I don't really want to be with y'all. I want to be with them.
Yeah. You're right.
So it's just a lot to unpack there. So while I do think more people should be more open to it, and I think even me, I should be more open to it. Um, it's a lot to unpack, and I never want to go into a situation like that family that you showed me a couple of months ago that went and adopted and then returned the kid. You know what I mean? Right after adopting, I'm like, nah. Like you need to be 100% comfortable with what you're getting yourself into before you take that path.
Yeah.
But I do think it should be an option that couples should discuss if one person is like, I don't want to have kids myself, but maybe we should adopt. In our situation, we've had kids, we have the ability to have kids. God has blessed us numerous times, and I know you're passionate about adopting too, and I would just have to get there.
Okay. So what about a surrogate?
Now we talking about more money.
Because it ain't tricking if you got it.
I don't have an issue with a surrogate.
I have an issue with this. I say that, but I
don't have an issue with it as long as we have like a contract buttoned up, and it ain't like that movie where homegirl was like trying to run off with the kid or something like that.
Yeah.
Then I think the surrogate thing would be fine.
I think surrogacy is amazing for those who aren't able to carry their children themselves. And I feel like later in life, if like one of my sisters were unable to carry and I was still capable, I wouldn't mind doing that for one of them. But as long as my womb is, let me finish.
Go ahead.
As long as my womb is capable, I don't see me having somebody else carry my children. I say it because it sounds good, but I don't see me I wouldn't actually go through it.
But back
just
to
like plastic surgery sounds good, but I wouldn't actually go through it.
I think you would go through with that.
I wouldn't.
As much as you be like hinting at a mommy makeover, blah blah blah.
I couldn't
blah.
actually go through it though, just because. And I tell you that, like, it sounds really amazing, but after the recovery is what I can't get with. Because just like recovery from surgery on my legs, I would actually rather have another baby than have to deal with being cut. That was the worst pain I've ever been in my life. It was worse than all three of my labors. I would
but
rather not.
The mommy makeover cut would be very different from the cut.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Because that's the thing. That's what. And see, the people who are getting, BBLs and makeovers and all of that stuff now, they're being more out there about their recovery process, and all of them look like they're dying for like 3 weeks. I am not interested.
Okay.
They look and feel and sound like they're dying.
Hey, bro, save me some money. I don't care. I'm not advocating for a BBL or a mommy makeover.
Somebody could figure out a way to completely eliminate the painfulness of the process and the oozing and no.
Let me talk to Jesus about that, because I there's a reason
God,
why
you ain't give me a flat belly and a big butt? Go ahead.
He gave the ability to take what was in your belly and stick it in your butt. There you go.
No. That sounds good, but I can't get with that recovery.
But back to your point you just made, though. I would have the biggest fits if you denied me child number 4 and number 5, but then decided that you was gonna go carry one of your sister's babies.
Well, that's why I said I would.
What?
If I came to terms with number 4, that's me. That's a compromise, dude.
I would even have
one more than 3.
I would even have an issue with that if you denied, you gave me 4 but denied me 5, and then said 5 years later, oh, Chanel, I'm gonna have a baby for you too. Nah, bruh, that's my baby. Chanel ain't getting that. I'm gonna be the surrogate that take that damn baby. Nah, that's me.
Oh my gosh. No, it's so different.
No, it's not.
It's very different.
It's not. So then, all right, but if a dude, so say, because there's going to be some dudes, as you saw the comments on the 50-50 conversation, it's some Negroes out here that think very, very crazy. and probably think, well, if a woman ain't gonna give me a baby, then she shouldn't have an issue with me going out and having one with somebody else. And you say to that what?
Somebody got to die.
Something is wrong with you, man. Why has everything got to resort to somebody dying?
I mean, I don't know how else to handle. Like,
I mean, with playing devil's advocate, like, if he was trying to do the right thing and have a baby with his woman and she wouldn't do it, like, why kill him because he went out and had one?
Just go be over there. Because what am I supposed to say? Bring the baby home? Because no. just go.
You're not going to love it like your own?
No, I'm not.
That's crazy.
Take you a little peanut and go.
Little peanut.
No.
Well, now I think, look, with any of these things, I think ultimately communication is what is going to get you to the place of some sort of understanding. So, my advice for people, like, had a conversation with somebody before you get into a permanent situation with them.
Several conversations.
Yeah. And whatever you guys talk about, whatever you agree upon, hopefully that sticks. Mm-hmm. But understand, like, as you grow, as they grow, people might change.
And
like,
evolve. And
there might be, I've heard situations where women went into something like, I don't want any kids. And the guy was cool with that. And then years later, she was like, nah, you know what? That motherly thing started to kick in and she wanted kids. Like, you got to understand that just because somebody said something 10 years ago when you meet them, 5 years ago when you meet them, like,
be the same.
It might not be the same. But I think having a conversation first and trying to work through it before you, like, all right, I can't deal with this person, or I'm going to go have a baby with somebody else and this person won't do it. You might die, is what she said right here. I just think, had a conversation to figure out what works for y'all. Because it should be a joint decision.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely should. So just because, we're still, in the midst of having a final answer, that the answer that we have now is just continue to try to talk and put yourself in each other's shoes and hope that you can find a happy medium.
Yeah, it's never going to be perfect. Like some days we are, today, for instance, we out here, we get up early, we shooting. Luke been driving us crazy since he woke up. You know what I mean? So
he
days
really
like
woke up
today,
on the wrong side of cute today.
Like, man, like
today,
I don't want no more kids.
Oh. I think I said it today.
You did.
We are not having any more kids. He has been tripping today.
Yeah, so, you will have those days, but I think, again, just talk about it, come to some sort of consensus, and if you can't, maybe go get therapy and, maybe talk to somebody and see if they can help you find some sort of, like, middle ground with the situation. You're not always going to agree on everything, but the biggest thing is just finding a place where both people can be at peace and moving forward together.
Yes. You just want to make sure it's a decision that you both can live with and live with together.
Yeah. yeah, for sure. And like the whole, like, either side, like man getting snipped, woman getting her tubes tied, like definitely think you should have that conversation together.
I just feel like you should do it because
say what?
I feel like when the time comes, it should be you. That's your sacrifice. I done sacrificed my womb and my body and my perky boobs.
Say, bro.
And my unstretched marked skin.
I am never.
That's the very least that you could do.
I am never getting my joint snipped. Ever.
You should, though. You should.
Why? Even once we decide to stop having kids, why would I go do that?
Why wouldn't you? If we're done having kids.
I can just keep pulling out, B. What you talking about? Why would I go get snipped and him?
I'm not. If we decide that we're done having kids, then we're going to have to do something more reliable than the withdrawal method.
It works, except when you do crazy stuff.
I can't get myself pregnant, so except when who does crazy stuff?
You. I ain't going to tell these people what you did the night Luke. that ain't for this. I ain't gonna tell them what you did and what you said that night. Your parents probably watching too, so they don't know that side of you. You know what I mean? So let's not just act like, again, I'm 100% when I shoot my shot, but I don't just shoot my shot just blindly now.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
You are lying on
will-
national podcast television.
I will say it, and your
You
mamas
are lying.
and your daddy will know
You
who you
are lying.
No,
you
I'm
are
not.
lying. You
She
are
blushing
lying
right now, guys, because she know what it is.
You're a fucking liar.
She want to end the show right now because she know what it is. So again, when I shoot my shot, I shoot him, and I shoot him when I'm told to shoot him. So.
Oh my! I cannot believe you lied.
Anyways, I think we can wrap this one. This has been a good conversation about kids. Look, again, come to some sort of agreement. If you can't, talk about it. Adoption is a thing, but just make sure both parties see eye to eye. So have those conversations.
Yeah.
Would love to hear you guys' thoughts about it. So get into the comments for us. Talk to us on social. Would love to hear how you guys feel about it. Is it a deal breaker? If two people can't agree on kids, can you move forward? Should you go separate ways? Would love to hear about it.
Ladies, y'all chime in and tell me what you think. When it's time to officially shut the baby factory down, who should do it, the woman or the man?
Man, well, that's a loaded question. We already know.
It's not a loaded question.
You leading the people to the answer. We already know what they're going to say. I just, look here. What's today? November what? 14th, 15th? Whatever today is. Just know that these nuts ain't never getting snipped. My Negro.
Leave me alone.
But yo, thank y'all for checking in, man.
Thank
really
y'all,
appreciate it. I'm James.
I'm Tina.
We are the Life Partner Gang.
Gang.
I'll let y'all later.
Bye. Peace.